Please put your hands together and give a warm welcome for our special guest, Mad Professor, Nadine Sutherland, Sister Aisha, and Big Youth. So, thanks to one and all. No, I don't know. I think we're good to go. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, so thank you all for joining us. And as we said, we're here celebrating 45 years of Ariwa. We've got some special guests here. I'd like to open this panel just by allowing our special guests to introduce themselves, remind us who they are, what they do, and what their connection is with Ariwa. Oh, and please, round of applause for our special guest, Big Youth. Yes. You're gonna sing. Yes, so just like to begin this session by inviting each of our panelists to introduce themselves, just remind us who they are, what they do, and what their connection is with Ariwa sound. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. My name is Aisha.
Check your mic.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better, doesn't it? Okay. Yes, so my name is Aisha. I did my first album with Mad Professor back in 1984. And, you know, although I did a series of songs, he kind of put me under the banner of the root starter. So I'm taking that responsibility, all right? So Ariwa from 1984, my name's Aisha, and obviously everybody probably have seen myself and Mad Professor work around the globe for many, many years. So that's my contribution.
Thank you.
My name is Nadine Sutherland. I'm celebrating 45 years myself in the music industry. Started when I was 11. I have had some dancehall hits. You probably know some of them action, you know. And I was a university student in my 40s. And my professor threw back the paper and said, no good. Literally, it was like, this is crap. This is crap. I was writing my master's thesis. I was brokenhearted, and then there was a message from Mad Professor on Facebook. But I know his name, Mad Professor, but I'm like, why is Mad Professor, the Mad Professor, writing me on Facebook? So I thought he was a crazy man, a stalker or something. So initially I was like, Mad Professor Naga write me on no Facebook. I think we exchanged numbers, and I was like, if it's the right one, it's the right one. So he called me and he said he would like to do a project with me. And I said yes, because them just mash up my head at university at the West Indies and tell me I'm an idiot. So it's like, let me just go and do 2 music with my professor. When I went now, when, you know, I came to England, I was in a very, very, very resistant space. I was angry. I think something happened in the States that an African-American was killed. So I was really, really like in a space of, you know, so he gave me, before I came, I think it was George Floyd. No, it was before George Floyd. Before George Floyd. He sent the rhythm to me, and immediately, ta, 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 ta. And I was like, okay. And I was like, in my blood, Marcus Garvey, in my blood, you know, as roots as I can. I was like, chant down Babylon, blow. I get an opportunity though. Came to England, recorded in my blood, and ended up doing an EP, and ended up thinking that In My Blood is one of my best songs ever. And this man is responsible for it. Give him a big round of applause. So I'm here on that capacity to support, to honor him, 45 years is not an easy feat. Big up yourself, Mad Professor. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, come in, Prof.
Okay, well, my name is Neil Fraser, not Mad Professor. And I started in music from I was a little boy, about 10 years old, listening to the radio, listening to Mighty Sparrow, Delroy Wilson, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, and I wanted to sing like them. And when I heard my voice, I thought, no, I'm not going to sing like them. Let me do the next best thing. Then in 1969, 1970, I heard U-Roy, and I was gone. I wanted to be U-Roy. Then after U-Roy, I heard Big U Chi-Chi Run, and I wanted to be like Big Youth. I said, when I grow up, I want to, and I saw him standing outside Prince Buster shop, and I said, you know what, this is the way to go. This album, I would play this album again and again and wear it out, and said, you know, I want to start a studio and make music like this. So, you know, Jamaica music pulls you in. You know, it's like a fever. And when you catch that fever, you can't let go, you know? With Nadine, I went around the Caribbean on a holiday, and I heard Action. And I was blown away when I saw how people were dancing to Action. In Barbados, they were dancing. In Guyana, they were dancing. In Jamaica. And I thought something exciting about this girl. With Aisha, she came along with Dr. Alimentado. That was back in 1984. And she was always drinking some strange things from a cup. Anytime before she sang, she would have this cup, and she would drink it. And I remember saying to her, what are you drinking? Why? But then I realized she drinks something to keep her voice crystal clear and transparent. So I end up recording her. And yeah, over the years, the label end up with quite a few other people. We end up recording Pato Banton, Maccabee, Sandra Cross. We did quite a few Jamaican artists, because you can't forget the roots and reggae. You can't make reggae and ignore Jamaica. And the first Jamaican artist I record was Johnny Clark. And I thought he was amazing. Something with the voice. I don't know if it's the water you guys have down there or something, but you know, it just gives a certain coloration to the vocal. I must investigate and see what it is about Jamaica. Sometimes you hear like 10 singers that are dismissible and one that just shine. And that, to me, is the power of Jamaican music. So I could go on, but you know, I'll let the godfathers of my label, Big Youth, talk to you. Okay?
Yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentle people. as I say, well, this is Big Youth. The Honorable Big Youth, OD. Yeah. And me's a very miserable man, you know. No, may I tell you straight. Because all me can say about the music, and me, Big Youth, start the whole Rasta movements. Yeah, Natty Dread. No care what nobody want to tell you, it's Big Youth. Because when everybody was baby and bend down and chicka bow and simmer down and me come say live it up, Jah, do it, Jah. Because I don't know, for me it's a calling from the Most High. We never have no idea what things is about to be. Because me graduated from Heidelberg's University, you know. Yeah. Heidelberg's University is in the street. So the people that go to these big university colleges have to learn about us. Yeah? Because you have practical and theory. Well, some people can make a blueprint and some people can do the work. Well, we started it because I was in an accident, a bike accident. And from about 12 in the afternoon until 7:20 in the evening. And I was there. They have me as the dead one, because it's me and my brother. He was in the hospital for 3 months. And while they have me dead, because they were waiting to push me to the dead house. So, and I knew I wasn't dead, so I was holding on to life. And I had a vision in that state of mind. I tell me, say, I must go and tell the world about Rastafari. Yeah? So, when I wake up, I say, look, I don't want to stay in this hospital. I'm going home. They say, no, we have to test it out and test it out. Well, the next week, I just make if you ride like lightning, you crash like thunder. Yes? And start to tell the people about Rasta. Most people are afraid for say Rastafari. I'm telling you, because maybe you all don't know, and I'm not making this up.
Right.
This was me. And at that time, I said, boy, if I have to trim my locks, I'm not going on a plane. I don't want to go to America. I don't want to go to England. Yeah? I don't even want to go to Africa. I go to stay at Jamaica because Rastafari is love. And the people wasn't living right, so it's only Rasta. Only Rasta could have teach them about unity. Because nobody wasn't. The whole thing was romantic. Just romantic love where it come on. Somebody say they love you and they don't.
So you took it upon yourself to spread the message of Rastafari through your music, essentially.
No, I'm a graduate. I'm a graduate from the university, because we are rude boy on the street, you know. Mm-hmm. Unruly people, right? Mm-hmm. They don't mess with us. And all of that wasn't right. Because the youth was killing off them one another and through political strategy and what politics have to offer. Them separate. And I think that people is people and people must come together. We must make love and not war, because war ugly and love lovely. Mm-hmm. And it was a blessing for the people, because in a couple of weeks, we have 7 songs in the 2 charts, in the top 10. You understand? Them call me the phenomenon, that means me undescribable.
Right.
And it's not me, it's just the power Just a power from the Most High to tell the people. So every other artist come from that. Everybody has a Rasta now, cause Big Youth. That's the Rasta music. Yeah, ask the question, I will answer you.
Okay. Now, the nature of this session, because we're here to celebrate 45 years of Ariwa.
I mean, I go 50 odd, almost 60
Yes,
now.
but at the same time, we've got these artists here that have also long and varied careers outside of Ariwa. So what we're going to do, we're going to bounce, we're going to break things up for the people a little bit. We're going to bounce between the artists inside Ariwa, outside of Ariwa. And Mad Professor, you mentioned a minute ago that one of the records that really impressed you as a young person before you were producing music was a Big Youth record. So I want you to open the Big Youth folder there and hit us with track 2. And we'll see what we can learn about it.
No, love is love and love is lovely. Love not your brother, love not your boss. What big things come to those who don't love to rock the most when I tell you. And you exalt yourself to the truth of your praise. Ever since you went away, every day is such a cloudy day. Papa John, if you say so. And if you don't tell that,
So, first of all, Big Youth, how is it that you began to record for Prince Buster? Because if I understand correctly, you weren't necessarily coming from the same side of the street, as it were.
No, him name Manley and me name Manley and him name Buster. Manley are from the PNP side and Buster from the Labour Rights side.
Right.
Right? Because I get my name from a former Prime Minister, Norman Manley, because my mother used to follow him. And Prince Buster used to follow Buster Manley. Hear this now. I tell you, I don't like to come to these sessions, and talk, brother. I never get a penny from that song you just played.
Uh-huh.
It was the same day that I did S90 Skank. If you ride like lightning, you crash like thunder.
Okay.
I did that same song for Prince Buster.
I hear you.
I wasn't thinking about money. I just wanted to hear myself on the radio. So I just make songs.
Right. So, Mad Professor, when you heard music like that, what was it that appealed to you about what Big Youth was doing, and what effect did it have?
What? That was the soundtrack of the early 70s. Black youth in England needed something special. And when we heard those tunes, we were getting excited and getting like strength to deal with the racism that we faced outside. And Big Youth was like the second of the DJ phenomenon, being U-Roy the first. And then after 2 years, we start hearing these tunes. Screaming Target, yeah. The whole of the Chi-Chi Run Run. Man, that was so special. Words can't describe, because the mixing also, technical mixing, was like a stripped down thing wherein Big Youth was riding the drum and bass. And before them with Treasure Isle, most people was just riding the full rhythm. So it was a new style, and the youths them really adopted it. And for me, as someone who's thinking of a career dubbing, I heard things like the motorbike in S90. Rang, rang, rang.
That's right.
Yeah.
A live bike we took inside the studio.
Right. And you never hear nothing like that. You just think yeah, there's more to music than just a man playing a guitar or something. And yeah, man, Big Youth was the inspiration to us all. That's why I said, yeah, he's one of the godfathers of Ariwa, because with no Big Youth, there would be no Ariwa, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Give her thanks.
Now, Nadine Sutherland, you reminded us a moment ago that your career parallels the Ariwa trajectory, if you will, that you've been going for about the same length of time. So if you open Nadine's folder and give us a bit of track 1, we're going to see what you can tell us about this one.
I laugh because you must understand this song was recorded years ago and there's a definite change of voice. So sometimes it's two emotions I always get. Sometimes when I hear my young self, sometimes I get teary because the journey has been so long and it has not been easy. And sometimes I laugh because, you know, you hear all that innocence and purity in my voice. So that's why I laughed a while ago, because I haven't heard that song in ages. Thanks for playing it.
Thank you. Thank you for recording it. And can you tell us a little bit about, because you recorded that at Tough Gong, and you were working with Bob Marley and Sangy Davis. Tell us a little bit about the whole experience that time.
So I'm the kid that was always singing all over the place, and I was encouraged to enter Tasty Talent Contest, which is the biggest contest then. I entered. My father is a Pan-Africanist man and very roots, so I grew up hearing all of the things about Africa and Rastafari in my household. So when I did my quarter, I did Africa We Want to Go, Dennis Brown. I don't know, you guys are, come on, my black brother, come on, my black sister, Africa we want. Oh, you guys know it, great. So then what happened now for the finals, I heard Buckingham Palace, Peter Tosh, and I was impressed by the bass line. I swear to God, I never knew it was about weed, no. All I know, the bass line, to-doom, toom, toom, to-do-doom, and I wanted to be Tina Turner, right? You know what I'm saying? And I went up there as an 11-year-old, and I was dancing and singing and winding up my little maga self, right? I ended up winning, but as the story goes that I found out, Darren Jobson, who was Bob's personal attorney, was there with Sangy Davis. Sangy Davis was making the call, won the second place, and Darren Jobson said, no, I am going with a little girl. So that's how my life was just changed in a moment's decision. My first prize was to go to Tough Gong. The first day when we went to Tough Gong, Diane came out and meet us, and Diane, you know, she had heavy dreadlocks, beautiful woman, and she running out and she tried to fix the, you know, the dread, and she come and said, come meet Bob. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm an 11-year-old girl who just started high school. Bob, I heard about him, but I was not starstruck. I was more involved in being a first former at school. But in reflection, when I met Bob, oh my God. Bob, and it's a memory, you know, when you put a memory, you keep on putting it in your brain because I don't want to forget it. Because like after I realized just how fortunate I was even to be in that man's space, and just what a benevolent spirit he was. He thought about everyone. And that's how I started, because he was thinking of a younger generation coming up and what he can do to open up the doors to facilitate their careers and make it less hard as what he had to go through with, coming up in the Jamaican music industry. That's where I saw Bob, in dark denim, beautiful. His skin was luminous. His smile was incredible. And when I got cheeky and a little older, I was like, I can't say why I don't mind them. They love Bob Marley still, Bob Marley. They're hot, And that was it. Then my first song, Sandy Davis wrote it, Starvation on the Land. And I remember the first session that I had, they made it when he was off tour, because he was always on tour. And I was in the studio nervous. I should not be in my school uniform when looking back at it. Nervous, because this little girl from the country area, Jamaica, I don't know nothing about studio. They rehearsed the song for me for several times, and the first time, and I never knew he was around. And I have to put it, Steely and Clevie, the original creators of some of the most hottest dancehall, now they're in court, with I don't remember, reggaeton. They're trying to get a piece of reggaeton. Dembow, that rhythm. They started in roots reggae, Steely and Clevie. So they worked on Starvation on the Land. I'm in the studio as a little girl, not knowing what's around me, nervous. And then came Bob, and he said, listen, out I go, ba, really concerned. I'm like, put her on a stool, man. Because, I was tiny. I was like a midget, I was a really short 11-year-old. And he put me on the stool, and there's a picture with me with 2 big earphones that looked bigger than even my head. I swear to God how small I was. And when they started playing, it was Bob again who came and made some suggestions for the rhythm. And he was just there the first time I ever recorded. He was there ensuring that I was okay. And I'll never, ever forget that. Never. I'm so thankful.
Thank you. Now, Sister Aisha, we could say that your career, you're there from the early beginnings of Ariwa, and you're still there today. So if we open up, so there's a lot of parallels with your career and Ariwa more generally. So if we open up, Sister Aisha, you give us a bit of track 1, and then we're going to follow on with a bit of track 2, but let's listen to track 1.
You said those letters come together. My heart then floated like a feather, floating so fine. Yes, it's my dancing time. Dancing time. Dancing time. Dancing time.
Yeah. What do you want to tell us about this song, Sister Aisha? First 12-inch single, side A.
Well, you certainly done your homework.
They have, right?
I say that was probably like, Dancing Time was on the B side.
Well, it started as a A-side and
Exactly.
ended up as a B-side
Right.
when the B-side got more popular.
Okay.
Yeah, originally this is the A side. But what do you want to tell us about it? What do you remember of putting the track together and your first experience of recording with Mad Professor?
Well, it was probably the first opportunity that I had personally coming away from working from a different level of musicians. And it was, 84 was my real, having gone through so much heartache, working with different people. When I came to Ariwa and I was introduced to Professor by Ali Mantado, it was like really trying to prove myself, because by that time I was kind of angry about trying so hard. And that track, I think if I remember, Steel, Black Steel, a musician that you can't say he's not fantastic, because he is. He kind of redid the production, and because he was so quick, when that track came out, it was like, what? I finally done it by myself. You know, and Creator was Creator the A side as well? Or
Creator was on the flip side, which we actually recorded before Dancing Time, yeah.
Okay, well, I tell you what, why don't you give us a taste of track 2, and then we can discuss it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, Creator, I kind of wrote outside my backyard. And if I remember correctly, I wasn't very happy about life at that time. But through the inspiration, you just write what you've been told to write. And I created that melody with Macadub. And when we came to Ariwa, it was weird because, you know, I think that was probably, we used a drum machine.
For the first time.
For the first time. And if you follow the history with that track, it was one that I never really thought people would feel, you know. And if you remember, the Orb sampled it. That was the early 90s, and they just took the voice. And I thought, whoa, where's my money? You know, but what it did was introduce me to another audience. Even though at the time I was angry. And yeah, I mean, it's an anthem. You know, I can't get away from that track. You know, and I give thanks to the Creator because it did what it was supposed to do. You know, giving thanks. So yeah.
Thank you.
I have a question for Prof. And we're half in the session and nobody said one crucial word, that is dub. So would like to know how you got into dub and how you did start to dub it crazy.
Well, you know, dub music I first heard from Tubbies, and I thought, man, this is like jazz. The rules are not defined clearly, but it could go somewhere. And I thought, yeah, we could use the mixing desk as a tool and just entertain people, because when the Ariwa studio was first going, you get rock bands and pop bands coming to record, and I would just mess around and give them some echo. So I thought, yeah, this is the way to go, and I'd love to do this live. So in the early 90s, I start after making like some Dub Me Crazy series of dub albums, I thought, let me mix some rock bands so you get some pop bands playing, and then I dub it up. And I thought one day, if we could do this live, it could give people the concept of the studio, but on the stage, you know, live.
Okay. Well, since you mentioned Dub Me Crazy, if you go to the Mad Professor folder and give us a little taste of track 4, and we'll see what you can tell us about this, Prof.
with all its fashions. Get you up in a damaging way. Ooh, you will be trapped with the heat throwing away.
Okay, Prof, so can you tell the good people here at Rototom Sunsplash Reggae University, what were we just listening to and how did you put it together?
Well, it's a track from Dub Be Crazy 1, Chapter 1, and it was Tony Benjamin on the vocals. Tony Benjamin was lead singer with Reggae Regulars, and they were looking for a studio to come in and record, and my studio was like that. And the interesting thing, those tracks were done on 16-track 2-inch. And what I learned since then, that the format that you use in the studio depicts how the song sounded. Like 16 2-inch would kick a certain way and the snare would pop. And it's different from even modern day Pro Tools and modern day 24-track, and every format sounded different. And luckily, the one that is classic throughout reggae, throughout Jamaican producers, is 16-track 2-inch. Studios like Joe Gibbs, Channel 1 after 1980, early Tough Gong, they were all 2-inch 16-track. Federal, which became Tough Gong, 2-inch 16-track. It kicks like nothing else. And I think that's the ultimate sound of reggae, you know, to have like the big fat 2-inch tape and the kick and the snare just poof, paf, you know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Now, we're a few moments away from when we open things up so that you, the good people here, can put your questions to our special guests. So put your thinking caps on. But before we do that, we're going to fast forward everything. We're going to get a lot more contemporary. So if you go back to the Big Youth folder, and we're going to stick with the Ariwa linkage here. So give us a bit of track 20, and we'll see what we can learn about this.
If you drink, don't drive. Try to stay alive. Life you save could be your home. Don't drink, don't drive. If you drink, don't drive. Just try to stay alive. If you drink, don't drive. Just try to stay alive. I know, my brother, that you're feeling bad, 'cause the girl you have done you wrong. But now's the time for you to be strong when things are going so awfully bad. Now the words around all over town that your main girlfriend and put you down. Don't drink, don't drive.
Yes. So Big Youth and Mad Professor, what do you want to tell us about this collaboration?
Well, it's a Tom Junk. Them sing Tom Junk, but Tom no fool, but if Tom Junk, him fool. So,
drink, no drive.
so we come up with don't drink, don't drive. If you want to stay alive. Because it fits into this drunk and driving thing.
Okay. And Prof, what can you tell us about the sessions that produced that track?
Well, you know, I don't even know where it's issued. I'll have to ask Joe Ariwa, because Joe, as far as Big Youth is concerned, you know, is like Joe's godfather. You know, he's got so much love and respect for him. And he's in charge of that project, you know. And we're yet to issue the full album. Hopefully we'll have a tour next year and we'll have all those tracks. But Tom Drunk originally Treasure Isle, and yeah, we love Treasure Isle. And so it was like coming from Uroy School, then we have Big Youth coming in on the Tom Drunk with a positive message. Don't drink, don't drive. You know, it's very, very uplifting message.
And of course, your son Joe Ariwa, has played an integral part in the development of the Ariwa sound for the last however many years.
Yeah, well, he started from he was like 2-3 years old, you know, him and his brother. They'd come around the studio and press buttons and when I have no assistant. And yeah, as soon as they're old enough, they start to, well, they just love the business. You know, even if the mother tell them, listen, go to college and get some knowledge and thing, they still revert back to the music thing and taking it to the next level that even me, I don't understand. I don't understand about a lot of the Pro Tools and Logic and, you know, and both him and his brother, they're like computer wizards, but they love reggae. They really, really love dub and taking it to the next generation, you know?
Okay, thank you. Right, now let's go back to the Nadine Sutherland folder. And of course, you mentioned this track a while ago. And so if you hit us with track 19, and we'll 19 on the Nadine, sorry, track 9. Yeah, and we'll see what else we can learn about it.
Inna me blood, Marcus Garvey, inna me blood, inna me blood, inna me blood, Bob Marley, inna me blood, inna me blood, inna me blood, Natney go de pum pum, inna me blood, inna me blood. Oh, me a try, me still stay Babylon strong, strong. I wonder what went wrong, but I will continue to shout them down like the rest of men. Babylon, your system, still strangling the victims. The anguish cry still rising, so I will continue to chant them down like the rest of men. So if you're wondering where this all came from, it's in my blood, in my blood. Marcus' philosophies, Marley's songs, it's in my blood, in my blood. The great warrior Nanny, in my blood, in my blood.
Yeah, big tune.
Precious from any echelon, it's in my blood, in my blood, because it's in my blood, Bob Marley in my blood, in my blood, in my blood, Marcus Garvey in my blood, in my blood, in my blood, Nani go de Akumpong in my blood. Yeah.
It does that to me. There's just something, there's something ancestral when I hear in my blood, you know, African spiritual, when I hear the drums and it connects to something so deep inside of me, you know. And I think that was, you know, I think Steele, I have to big up Steele, who helped us with this song. And he was playing the kete, ta-ta, ta-ta, and he was playing drums around it and just helped the song to be, right, to be the song. And I said it from the beginning, for me, it's one of the best songs I've ever done. The message, the music, the singing, Mad Professor production. I am so proud of In My Blood. And I hear it all the time, and it's the same response. I'm like, ha, ha, warrior! Okay. Tribal, yes.
Thank you. Now, around the same time, if we dip back into the Aisha folder and hit us with a bit of track 11, and we'll see what we can learn about this.
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, what you do with your crown? Oh, why you walk with a frown? Oh, why you hide in the crowd? The system is making you drown. Why you hide in the crowd? When you used to walk around, you were so proud. Wait a minute.
Thank you so much. Well, that track, if I remember correctly, I laid a series of songs, and the inspiration around that track was, I suppose I was walking around looking, because I like to observe, try and pick up, they say music reflects life. And I started writing, and I was so angry. And the feeling like within, you know, all right, the black man, the black woman, all man. It was like a feeling of hope not being there. So, you know, it took a lot out of me. And if you listen, I don't stop writing till the end of the track. Because I tried to tie everything in around everything that I could see what was happening. Because, you know, there were times when you look at the world and you acknowledge, okay, you have to write in a way that you can offer hope. So Wait a Minute came through that way. And I recorded another one from the same album called Oh Africa. And I was saying to Prof, oh, I think this is the one. Let this one. And he said, no. Wait a minute. And everywhere I've gone, it's incredible. You know, I really think that, you know, I kind of surprised myself because that track was well received. You know, I don't think anybody took what I was singing quite personal. They just could relate, you know? So the Wait a Minute seemed to be the anthem. And as Prof said, well, you know, if there was a chart in England, it would have got to #1. But there was no chart in England, and it never got to #1 on paper. But everywhere I've gone, I realized the tune traveled further than I could imagine. And I'm thankful for that.
Thank you.
My professor.
Prof, any other comments about this tune before we open things up for question and answer with the audience?
Well, Wait a Minute is true. It should have been a natural #1. But you know the way the industry go now, like some of it is digital. Wait a Minute came out at a time when vinyl was just coming back in after being like zero. And the digital thing wasn't quite established. So, yeah, it was a successful song, but it wasn't as successful as it should have been. And you know, over the years, so much changes. Like in 85, we could have sold 100,000. By the time 87 come around, you could only sell like 40,000. And by the time 2010 come around, the same tune that would have sold 100,000, you could only sell 3,000. Now I don't know, it probably gone down to 600. So, you know, it's an industry, it keeps changing.
Yeah.
And yet we have to stay in business as record labels and rely on income unless you put income from your pocket into the business, you're out of business.
Right.
So, you know, it kind of reflects where the industry's gone as a business, as a money-making, not making money to flaunt, but making money to stay in business, you know? It's a problem.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so do our fellow panelists have any questions before? No? Okay, any questions down that side? Ellen, Pete? Yeah, I'll put it to the audience. Okay, so we're moving to give the platform to you, the good people. So to put your questions, okay, we've got a question over here. Yes, roving mic, please. Thank you. Got to switch, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for the music. I first got introduced to reggae music when I went to see The Clash in Cardiff, and Mikey Dread was supported, and it hit me straight away. Why do you think, we've talked a lot about African music and Jamaican music, why do you think it's so transferable? Why do you think it's so meaningful to everybody?
Because it's real.
And you feel.
Very real.
You definitely feel the rhythm. You know, there's a message in the rhythm.
But also the spirit and the universal language. When I did In My Blood and I spoke about Babylon, I think everybody can relate to Babylon because everybody wants a better life. Everybody, we don't want oppression. I'm sure everybody finds that appeal of the one love mentality in, in reggae music that they can connect to. We still see, it's interesting that we're speaking about Babylon and we're still seeing Babylon. So we always have to be doing songs that, word power, the ashe of the tongue. We will still always have to chant down Babylon because I'm sure everybody here wants a better life. Everybody here wants to see people united in love. Everybody here wants, racism and intolerance of everything just be erased from the world. So reggae will always be there because we will not stop until we chant down all oppression.
Thank you. Yes, Gayu.
Yeah. Well, what I would say is that Babylon is not a man, nor a woman. Babylon is a system. You understand me? So, and this system that oppress and people live in a misery because of hypocrisy and hatred and grudge. Yeah, one time you used to have bad people, No, you don't have no bad people again, You have bad-minded people. You understand me? So like I said, if we talk about the music is for the oppressed. And the oppressed now have no class, no creed, or no color. Yeah? So it's just people that are oppressed. And if you teach them righteousness, then they would be uplifted. And reggae music is the music that teaches people. I don't know about now, because some people I hear sing some kind of things, and I say, people, hey, and ray, but I don't know the hell what they're saying, or what the meaning it have to humanity. Honestly, I sit here and I'm speaking, but I don't like to speak because I think people don't comprehend more time, Because we're living in a strange world. And like the daughter say, Babylon, the system.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I think, so we've got time for maybe 2 last questions. So, yeah, who else wants to put the next question before we bring this session to, we got a question at the back.
Hi, greetings. Thank you guys for being here. I just want to ask you, you get a lot of producers doing these sort of tribute albums, and I wanted to know if you had a tribute album in mind to do before you leave here instead of someone sort of doing it on your behalf, and if you do have one in mind, which young artists from the UK are you bringing along? That's what I want to know. And big up everybody. Thanks so much for being here today.
Who are going to come up with that tribute album then?
Tribute to who?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. To yourself.
But it's already written.
I think someone else would have to
so it has been
see
done.
it from the outside. It would be very egoistic for us to say, make a tribute about us. But, someone, whoever feel inspired, they could do it, yeah.
But let me turn that question around a little bit. And Mad Professor, maybe you can remind the good people here about some of the, not exactly tribute albums, but albums you've done honoring the Philadelphia soul sound, for instance, and Motown. What are you going to tell us about that?
Yeah. Well, because we know where reggae and where Ariwa is coming from, we really love things like the Delphonics and the stylistics. And you know, if you listen to a lot of reggae, even today in the plane we were talking, myself, Big Youth, Aisha, we talking on the plane, and it came up Al Green. And a lot of people underestimate Al Green's influence on reggae. Songs like Love and Happiness, West Brom Train, you know, Here I Am Baby, is tons of songs that help shape reggae. And even the whole soul music phenomenon with Motown at Studio One and Treasure Isle. If it wasn't for those songs that became bigger hits in reggae than, and even people realized that they came from soul originally. So, you know, it's a constant evolution, and the left side is influencing the right side. You know, we talk about Africa, you want to go. All that is coming from somewhere else. It's not coming from Dennis Brown. You know it from Dennis Brown. But it was before Dennis Brown. So, you know, tribute, you know. Yeah, and it's constantly being evolved. And we're proud to be part of it, you know. We're
Thank
really
you.
proud.
Okay, so we got time for one last question before we end this session here today. So who wants to put the last question to our special guests? And this is your chance. Oh, we've got one right at the back to be our last question.
Yes, hello. Thanks for being here in the first place. And my question is, do you have a ritual before a show? How do you prepare a show? That is my question.
Yeah, do you have a ritual, a before-show ritual?
That sounds scientific. What? Yeah, what kind of ritual?
No. No, I have a ritual before I go on stage. First, I'm always praying because anything can happen up there. I love wind up myself and jump up and down, you know. And anything can happen. So I make sure before every show, I meditate, but then I pray. And then I'm like, God, dance through me, sing through me. I try to just like calm myself. And don't talk to me before I go on stage because I'm focused on what I'm doing. So that is my ritual before. I don't talk, well, yeah. Yeah, I have the praying, the necessary praying.
Yeah, similar.
But that wouldn't be ritual, Nadine.
It is.
No, man.
You need the quiet moments.
Ritual is like some hocus pocus and admirados. Where, which, I'm not interrupting what you said, you know. But to me, ritual is like some people who come and sprinkle shit and come with false things. Cause, like me say, the music, you what Neil Professor say. Because most of Jamaica long time singers are foreign music, them used to sing, you know. Them never used to write no song for themselves. Them copy. And a lot of people now, like when you say ritual, you mean like obia working, don't And a lot of people work obia because them not like to see when the next brother survive. And some people believe in a false thinking. So the only ritual me know is to say, I pray thee and give praises to the Lord, and why do the heathen rage? And the people imagine vain things. So we must do right things. But me not believe in a ritual and spiritual hocus pocus.
No, I don't.
So me not going to call righteousness ritual. Because it's righteousness me I deal with.
You're right.
Togetherness. God bless you. That's my answer.
So please give another warm round of applause for our special guest, Mad Professor, Big Youth, Nadine Sutherland, and Sister Aisha. And just to remind, they will be live and direct on the main stage tomorrow evening at 8:30 p.m. Also, in just 30 minutes' time, right here at 7 p.m., we will have our second session at the Rototom Sunsplash Reggae University for 2025 with none other than Burning Spear. Don't miss it.
All right. It's the right thing.